Hello and welcome to this video on how to estimate a mixed Rasch model in jamovi. My name is Geiser. I'm an instructor and statistical consultant with QuantFish. In this video, I will show you how you can estimate the parameters of a mixed Rasch model in the free point-and-click app jamovi. So let's get started and let's first of all talk about what a mixed Rasch model is. The mixed Rasch model was developed by the German psychometrician Jürgen Rost in the 1990s, and it is a model that uses multiple latent classes. So it is a hybrid between the classical Rasch model and a latent class model. Now, what does this mean? This means that when we're estimating the item parameters of a Rasch model, we are assuming that those item parameters or item difficulties hold for all individuals in the underlying population. In other words, we're assuming that there is population homogeneity with regard to the item parameters, or we could say that the items are equally difficult for everybody in our population who we are looking at. And that may not be a reasonable assumption under all circumstances. So for example, when we have tests that can be solved with different solution strategies, or where at least some of the items can be solved by using different solution strategies, then this assumption of item parameter homogeneity in the population may be violated, because some people, some test takers in the population may use different strategies that may allow them to more effectively or more efficiently solve certain types of items compared to individuals who use a different solution strategy. And I will show you an example of a test where exactly that is the case later on, and then we will analyze the items of this test with the mixed Rasch model in jamovi. Here you can see the equation for the mixed Rasch model, and you can see that the second portion on the right-hand side of the equation looks pretty much like what you would see in the Rasch model. We have a person parameter, so to say, or a latent trait variable eta, and we have an item parameter alpha. And so in the Rasch model, the solution probability for an item I is a function of the latent trait score of an individual and the item difficulty. And that's the same thing in the mixed Rasch model. However, the mixed Rasch model adds a parameter pi c to the model, which is a class size parameter. So one parameter that is estimated in addition to the regular Rasch parameters or item parameters is this pi c parameter that gives us the size of a given class C. And the classes are exhaustive and mutually exclusive, like in latent class analysis, meaning everybody has to belong to one and only one latent class. The pi c parameters add up to 1.0. They give us the proportions of each class. And you can see also what is different here in the equation compared to the Rasch model is that we have an index C for the latent class membership. So the person parameters or the person values eta C are specific to class C, and so are the item parameters. So that's most important, or that's what we mostly look at when we estimate the parameters of a mixed Rasch model. We look at the class specific item difficulties alpha IC, and we look at whether those item difficulties vary across latent classes. So let's take a look at an example. And so what I'm going to use here in our jamovi application is items that are taken from a German spatial ability test called the cube comparison test. The cube comparison test has items that look like this, where you have a target figure on the left-hand side, and then you have 5 figures A through E on the right-hand side, from which you have to find a match with the target figure on the left-hand side. And the first item, that would be the cube E. And you can see in this type of item, the cube E has the same 3 patterns as the target cube. So in this case, a chess pattern, a dot, and this cross pattern. And so by using a strategy where we would simply identify the cube in the set of cubes on the right hand side that has the same 3 patterns as the target cube, we would find E. Notice that there's no other cube that has the same 3 patterns as the target cube. It's only E, and so E here happens to be the correct solution. So if you pick E based on pattern identification, you find the correct solution. And so this is why this type of item is referred to as PIS, for pattern identification sufficient, meaning I can find the correct solution here simply by picking the cube that has the same 3 patterns as the target cube. I don't have to use spatial ability or spatial performance, really, like mental rotation or something like that, to find the correct cube. I can just simply identify the one that has the same 3 patterns. Now, there's another type of item in this test as well that you can see here. When you take a closer look at the options here in the second item, you will probably find that the cube number C here is correct. And so notice that cube C does not have the same 3 patterns as the target cube. It doesn't have the chess pattern, right? And instead has the cross. So if you were to use the pattern identification strategy like in the first item, what you would pick is cube B, and cube B is incorrect, right? So this pattern identification strategy fails for this type of item, which is why this type of item is referred to as SCR, for spatial cognition required. So the second type of item requires you to use some sort of spatial strategy, or is at least thought of requiring that. So it can't be solved with a pattern identification strategy. You would make systematic mistakes if you used a pattern identification strategy for the second type of item, and you wouldn't find the correct solution here. So now these types of different items, as we will see, lead to different latent classes when applying a mixed Rasch model to these types of items from the test. So let's see how what this looks like when we apply a mixed Rasch model in jamovi to the items of the cube comparison test. Now you can see we're in jamovi, and you can download this app for free from the internet. It's very easy to use, very self-explanatory. If you want to apply a mixed Rasch model or a Rasch model using jamovi, you have to download a specific module that is not available in the standard version of jamovi, and so that's the package snow RMM. And so you can find this by going to modules. If you haven't installed it yet, then this is where you can find this. So here in the library, in the jamovi library, you can download it and then install it, and then it'll appear here in the task menu. Next, what we need to do is we need to open a data file for analysis. And so I'm going to click here on the upper left hand side corner, and I'm going to open one of the recent files called mixedrasch.txt. If you don't have one that is already here in this list, you can go to open, and then you can go to browse and find the file that you want to analyze here on your computer. So let me open this file, mixedrasch.txt. And so as you can see, this file contains 4 PIS items at the beginning. So those are the ones where a pattern identification strategy is sufficient. And then it also contains 4 SCR items that are thought to require mental rotation or some other spatial strategy, and that cannot be solved with a pattern identification strategy alone. So now let's apply the mixed Rasch model to those 8 items and see what we find there. So we can click here on snow RMM, and you can see this would be the standard Rasch model right here. But we want to analyze a mixed Rasch model, so we're going to Mixture Rasch Mixture Model, and what Jamovi does with this option by default is it already estimates a 1-class model, which is the standard Rasch model, and a 2-class model once we enter our items into the variables field. So we're going to select from the list on the left-hand side, we're going to move them over into the variables field, and then automatically a Rasch mixture model is estimated, one with a single class and one with 2 classes. So the first one here is a standard Rasch model, assuming item homogeneity in the population, and the second one is our 2-class Mixed Rasch model. Now notice that the 2-class Mixed Rasch model has a lower BIC value than the single class standard Rasch model, which means that according to the BIC coefficient, the Mixed Rasch model with 2 classes would be preferred. Now, if we wanted to find out whether we need more than 2 classes, we then could enter 3 here under analysis options on the left hand side, and then we would also get the model fit information for the 3-class model, as you can see here. And you can see that the BIC value increases again after or with the 3rd class. So this means the fit gets worse according to the BIC coefficient. So a 2-class model seems sufficient. Now I'm going to go back to 2 classes then for my output, because this has the best BIC value. And so I'm going to enter 2 classes again under analysis options to go back to the output for the 2-class Mixed Rasch model. Now we can see that the next table that is presented here is a table with the item response probabilities in each class. So you can see we have our 8 items here in the first column, and then in the second column we have the item solution probabilities in class 1. And so what we can see here is that in class 1, the first 4 items, which are PIS items, have very high to high solution probabilities ranging from 0.806 or 0.807 all the way to 0.95. So very high probabilities for these items. So the individuals in class 1 have a very, very high chance of solving PIS items. However, when you take a look at the solution probabilities for the last 4 items, which are all SCR items requiring spatial cognition, you can see that the solution probabilities are markedly lower for those 4 items. So this could indicate that the individuals who were assigned to class 1 based on their item response patterns use a pattern identification strategy mostly because they have a very, very high probability for the PIS items, and they have a low chance of solving SCR items. When we take a look at class 2, we can see that the item solution probabilities are more balanced across all 8 items. So the item probabilities are lower for PIS, but still relatively high, and they remain high for SCR, with the exception maybe of item 7 and item 8, although these probabilities are still higher than in class 1. So overall, class 2 has more uniformly distributed item probabilities for all items, which may indicate that these individuals use a spatial strategy rather than a pattern strategy, where the spatial strategy allows them to also solve the spatial cognition items with a higher probability. Now, another thing that we can look at is a plot of the fit statistics, where we can then see which of the information criteria is lower for 1 versus 2 classes. And we already saw that the BIC was lower for 2 classes. That would be the index that we would typically look at. And so we already saw that. In addition to that, we can also get a plot of the item difficulty parameters. And first of all, we can output the item difficulty parameters in a table by clicking here on Tables Measure. So that gives us the estimated Rasch item parameters in class 1 and class 2. And here we can see again that in class 1, the first 4 items have very low item difficulties compared to the item difficulties for the SCR items. So for PIS items, the item difficulties are small. For the SCR items, the item difficulties are larger. Whereas in class 2, the item parameters or item difficulties are overall more in the middle, so to say. So for all items, they don't differ as much between PIS and SCR as they do in class 1. And we can plot that as well. And then this is a little bit nicer to look at by clicking here on item plot. We get the item parameters plotted in an item plot. And so you can see now here on the y-axis, we have our item difficulty parameters from low to high item difficulty, and we have the item number 1 through 8 here on the x-axis. You can see in class 1, item difficulties are low for the PIS items, the first 4. They are high for the SCR items, and in class 2, this is different, where the item difficulties overall are more equal or more balanced, so to say. So those individuals have higher probabilities even for SCR items. So therefore here the mixed Rasch model allows us to separate the two different types of solution strategies: the pattern identification strategy, which is likely to be used primarily in class 1, whereas a spatial strategy may be used in class 2. And so this is an example where item parameters are not equally or do not apply equally in different subgroups. So it's an example of differential item functioning in previously unknown subgroups or latent classes. And so one strength of the mixed Rasch model is that it allows us to identify differential item functioning, for example, due to the use of different solution strategies in groups that we don't know beforehand. So this is a very important feature of the mixed Rasch model, that it is a test for differential item functioning without the requirement of knowing the groups. So it's not like we're comparing males and females or different age groups. The mixed Rasch model simply looks at where are the subgroups that differ in the item parameters. Are there any subgroups that have markedly different item parameters? So it's always a good idea to test the Rasch model to fit a 1-class standard Rasch model and a 2-class and maybe a 3-class mixed Rasch model, and see if the 2 or 3-class mixed Rasch model fits better than a single class Rasch model. And with that, then you can identify subgroups of individuals that differ in solution strategy, that differ in item parameters. What we can also do here is we can go to person analysis, and we can click on person membership. And so when we click on person membership, then we don't see anything here. But when we go to our data file, then the last variable now is a newly created variable called membership. And so here we get the estimated class membership, class 1 or class 2, for each individual based on their most likely class assignment. And then you can look at which person would be assigned to which class. And that may be important when we analyze differential item functioning, because we might potentially be interested in those groups. And so we might be interested in looking more specifically at who is assigned to the pattern identification strategy, who is assigned to the spatial cognition strategy, and is there maybe a relationship between class membership and other variables such as gender or age or something like that. So you could relate class membership to other variables in that way. I hope you found this video useful to learn more about the mixed Rasch model and how this can be easily applied in the jamovi software. Please check out the description for additional resources, including workshops on IRT and Rasch modeling that we offer through QuantFish, and I'll see you next time.